Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new video. Make sure you like this video down below and subscribe to the channel if you are new. So last night we had two special election primaries in Ohio, one for the 11th district and one for the 15th district. Both of them will have their general elections on election day in November. And it was very interesting to take a look at this and to understand the dynamics within the two parties. Obviously, one of these districts is like D plus 60 essentially, where Donald Trump lost it 80-20 essentially both times. Slight improvement in 2020, but not really by much. And then we had the 15th district, which is a deep red district, not like super deep. Trump won it by 15 points both times. Romney, I think, only won it by 6 for comparison. So there are a lot of Obama-Trump voters in that district. And it is one of those populist pivot areas that used to be Democrat or essentially a swing area that has mainly turned into a Republican stronghold and will likely continue to get redder as future election cycles do go on. And what we saw in these districts was very interesting. I'm going to analyze this in a minute, but first I do have to tell you guys about my good friends over at Noble Gold. Now, inflation isn't something we've heard of in a while. But last month, the inflation rate in the U.S. is the highest in 29 years. That's a big problem for all of us with food and gas and everything else going up. But it's terrible if you're planning on retiring anytime soon. You need to put up an inflation dam to stop it from wiping out the value of your savings and investments. It's not too late. Noble Gold specializes in retirement planning and IRAs, so their team of experts is your first stop, and they make it so easy to do. This month, they're offering a 1-ounce American Eagle solid silver-proof coin with every IRA or 401k taken out. Not many people can relax when inflation's this high, but like thousands of others, with Noble Gold, you'll be okay. Visit noblegoldinvestments.com today. That's noblegoldinvestments.com. So we have two main primaries here. Obviously, there was a Democrat primary in the red district and a Republican primary in the blue district. Both of them had fairly low turnout. I don't even think it's worth analyzing both of them. But what we did see was very interesting with this left-leaning district and the right-leaning district. I wanted to start off with the left-leaning district because you have an establishmentarian candidate, a more neoliberal type of candidate, having the backing of Hillary Clinton, having the backing of a lot of these establishment characters, the Clinton/Pelosi/Biden type of Democrat, versus Nina Turner. Nina Turner is a favorite of the Bernie bros. She had the backing of Bernie Sanders, and obviously she's actually, unlike a lot of these other, candidates that have ran under a Bernie-style platform, she actually had a national profile. I mean, she's over at MSNBC quite often. She goes on CNN. She has the backing of like LeBron James. She's very good friends with LeBron James, who's very popular in Ohio. LeBron actually wanted her to run for president. And it's funny. And she can't really get beyond state senator. She's, was a very high-profile state senator in the state of Ohio. She's ran for higher office in the state before and did not even come close, mainly because she is too far left, especially for her own party. Democrats are becoming the party of the suburbs, the party of the elites. Even in Ohio, obviously, it's a little different because Ohio's suburbs are fairly, right-wing populist areas for the most part. They're heavily Republican. They're heavily pro-Trump compared to like suburbs in a place like New York or Chicago. But even then, I mean, her district, a lot of the district is in Cuyahoga County. A lot of black voters live there, and a lot of, white suburbanites from the inner suburbs that are probably more elitist than you have in a place like the neighboring Lorain County, for example, or a place like Youngstown down the line, right? But either way, Shontel Brown carried a victory. She got a last-minute donation dump, and as a result, she prevailed. She won by only roughly 6 points, but still, she won the district, and a lot of people on the left, a lot of the so-called progressives and the populist left were having a meltdown last night, mainly because of this. And you could see it right here. And it really goes to show that internet is not real life. Shontel Brown is somebody who wasn't even verified. She had like 20,000 followers. Nina Turner's out there, very good at social media. She's got like 400,000 followers or something like that. She's got a verified badge. She constantly gets retweeted by celebrities even. But it didn't matter at the end of the day because the internet is not real life. And voters really are who determine the outcome, not just people on Twitter. I think in the Democrat primary exit poll in Iowa, it showed only like 22% of people used Twitter that voted in the primary, and it was like 11% for Republicans. So Twitter's obviously not real life. Even, when Republicans get ratioed on Twitter, it doesn't exactly affect the will of the voters. And that's another thing people need to take into account. And you see this right here. And Nina Turner was supposed to be this candidate. She had celebrity backing. She had a very enthusiastic base. But even then, it didn't matter. Now, at the end of the day, is the populist left, or the so-called populist left? I don't personally think it's populist at all. But are these people controlled opposition within the establishment? Basically, the establishment has them exactly where they want them. These people fall in line at every single turn. Obviously, if you look at somebody like Bernie Sanders in 2016, he had the potential to take the Green Party nomination if he wanted it, if he was actually revolutionary, if he actually saw no difference between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, and the same time this time around between Trump and Biden, but instead, no. Both times he caved into the establishment, and as a result, guess what? Nothing really got done. And you can see this right here with the Biden administration. A lot of these plans like the healthcare reform or the $15 minimum wage, they're not going to go through. Even if Biden is paying lip service to them, they're going to be blocked by Manchin or Sinema. The populist left isn't going anywhere. And by the way, their economic proposals are illiterate. They are not pragmatic. Those that I've seen from even the Hawley crowd are actually a lot more attainable and a lot more interesting and would probably work out a lot better to curtail the same problems that the populist or so-called populist left whines about the whole time, which, by the way, are real problems like corporate power, like healthcare, for example. Our healthcare system is broken, but let's make it a whole government-run system. Yeah, what could go wrong, right? Obviously. But beyond that point, we could look at this and we could see that Shontel Brown is the winner here. And like I said, it says everything we know. And it shows the realignment is true. The establishment candidate won. And you could see this here. And it is true. Ohio has leaned towards establishment politics in the Democrat primary. And you could see this looking back at 2016. Hillary Clinton defeated Bernie Sanders in Ohio by 10 to 15 points. The same was not true in Michigan or Wisconsin, but in Ohio it was because the establishment, by the way, and in Michigan, obviously, Bernie Sanders didn't win because he was, anti-establishment, so much so as it was anti-Hillary vote. But the Democrats in Ohio, a little bit more likely to fall in line. But Republicans, at least the voters, because the party doesn't quite get it. Obviously, you have Mike DeWine and a lot of the other establishment characters like Rob Portman, Jane Timken, Josh Mandel. But beyond that point, the Ohio Republican primary voters get it. And this brings us to the 15th district that we have here. Mike Carey was the Trump-endorsed candidate. By the way, I looked through the platforms of all of these candidates. Nothing really stood out to me. A lot of boomer energy. But Mike Carey, it was the Trump-aligned candidate. Trump endorsed him. He handpicked him. He's actually fought the Chamber of Commerce on things like amnesty in the past compared to Steve Stivers, the former representative who actually just caves into it constantly. And Mike Carey, he's a very big coal guy. He is kind of, the most populist in terms of the energy. He was a good fit for the area. Trump endorsed him. He went from 2% in the polls to the front runner, and as a result, it showed that in Ohio, that endorsement mattered significantly. Mike Carey is at the top of the heap right here. He not only won, but he won by 24 points. He got close to 40% of the vote, and there were a lot of these establishment Ohio candidates or characters that were going down and endorsing all of the other candidates, but Mike Carey was the one who prevailed because he had the Trump energy. Yes, Trump does make bad endorsements from time to time. That is true. But it shows that the energy, when he makes a good endorsement, it is still on his side. And it shows that Texas's 6th runoff, that was a little bit of a one-off scenario, mainly because Democrats were lobbying for their voters to turn out for Jake Ellzey, which really explains a lot in retrospect. But beyond that point, what we see is that Ohio is still Trump country. It's going to be Trump country. Trump is not leaving Ohio. Ohio will remain a right-wing populist state, and this kind of symbolizes the realignment. The populist left is going to go nowhere because the corporations are now a major wing of the Democrat Party. Republicans, the opposite is sort of true. Obviously, a lot of the establishmentarian Republicans are still shills for these mega corporations, and we know that, and we have to call it out when we see it. But over time, the corporations have gone from supporting Republicans to supporting Democrats. The Republican Party is officially a more grassroots party. Yeah, and this energy has existed a little bit before Trump, but Donald Trump is the main reason behind it. He really is. And we have to keep it that way. So when Trump's endorsements win, it shows that he actually has the pull. And the grassroots base did come out for Mike Carey. Yes, he makes bad endorsements from time to time, but that's a little bit beside the point. Now, beyond that point, this does leave us with a question in a general election. Will Republicans turn out in Ohio if Donald Trump is not on the ballot for even, a more Trumpian candidate? We are going to have to see exactly what happens. We'll have to see that. It will likely be determined in the 2022 midterms. If Republicans are going to be winning the state of Ohio safe, that is Trump's legacy right there. It will be carried on, no pun intended, and you're going to see it happen. But in the meantime, we'll see what happens in the general election. We have a lot going on. My documentary is going to be out on Friday. Hopefully, I'll try to get it out on Friday. I don't want to keep delaying it. And then on Sunday, I will probably do the Senate election night you guys have been waiting for 2022 for so long. So anyways, guys, stay tuned for that. But anyways, thanks for watching this video. Please like this video down below, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell for notifications so you never miss another video. Follow me on social media. The links are all in the description below. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Red Eagle, out.